This is a Neko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Meow bitches, and welcome to the Blood Cave on this, the premiere of Cinephiles and Cenobites Season 2, where two geeks gush over cinema and I make plans for their eternity of epic suffering. /tag, you opened it, I came. I, of course, am your host, Annika Pussyfoot, Cinderella Hellborn, mother of Grendel, bringer of chains, fucker of faces, full-time soul breaker, dog raper, and cheese-tasting hobbyist, eggnogaholic, and Dan Stevens enthusiast. Welcome to episode 1, Point Counterpoint. I'll let Mox and Ono take over.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's happening?
How's it going? Welcome to the first episode of season 2. It's been 1 year. 1 year of this podcast. Can you believe it? Can you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I believe it that it's been a year, but it's moved so quickly. I feel like, although not super quickly, but just the fact that we're back here and doing our show in the second season, that part moved quick, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I guess we've always been here. I think just now we have our regular episodes, full segments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no real off time. Because in the summer, we slam you guys every week with something new.
We're going to continue slamming you guys from behind.
All slams. The kind you like.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, man?
Not much. Same stuff. Watching some movies and trying to think of what projects and stuff to do going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been reading Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh, Vonnegut?
Yeah.
How weird is it?
Probably maybe a few chapters in. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like I can only think of the time traveling wife, right?
The Time Traveler's Wife?
The time traveler's wife. Yes, not the time.
Which one is that? The one with Gerard Butler, or is that the one with Domhnall Gleeson?
No, Eric Bana.
Oh fuck!
And,
not even anywhere correct. Yeah, but Rachel Notebook is in now, right?
McAdams.
Yeah.
Yep. She's the bomb. But it kind of plays like that, right? Like he's jumping in and out, and he says he's unstuck in time, which makes sense because if you're stuck in time, you're just in one spot, right? But he's jumping back and forth from like World War II until like 1964, and he actually goes off planet as well. But it seems like he's not. The guy's name's Bill, I believe, and it's like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
But no,
Wild Stallions.
Like in the time traveler's wife, right? Eric Bana like literally disappears, right? Like you see it. Well, I haven't read the book, but I guess that's how in that story that's how it goes. But in Slaughterhouse, it seems like his mind's jumping rather, because like when he comes back to the present or in a certain time, like the guy, like there'll be a guy like shaking him, and it's not like he just popped out of nowhere.
Just his conscience.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah.
Is
but I'm only a few chapters in.
It's like butterfly effect-ish then.
Yeah.
Except you're not constrained by your lifetime.
Right, yeah. And butterfly, yeah. Exactly. But then it's kind of like Time Traveler's Wife because it's random. And so he doesn't have any control over
where he shifts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whereas,
what made you want to read that book now? I mean, I feel like that's a college.
It was a
course
college.
book,
Actually,
yeah.
we watched a clip of the movie, and it was this scene where this guy describes hurting this dog. Like he put a piece of like barbed wire in like the dog's like meat, and so the dog kept chewing on the meat, but didn't realize there's there's blood forming, and so he was just describing it. Like, what the? And the whole
that guy's not the main character, is
No,
he? Because
no.
that's a sicko fuck. Ugh.
Yeah. But then the whole time traveling aspect was really interesting, so I thought I'd get to the book. I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you find that kind of like, are you one of those people who's fascinated by time traveling and the whole paradox and that kind of?
I love it.
Yeah.
Like a good time traveling story. Like, I just finished 11/22/63
Oh, it's the Franco Hulu one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
about JFK.
So, what we got first coming up on our slash tag?
So
Zag.
we decided to go watch Dark Tower and another Stephen King.
Every episode this season, Stephen King.
Stephen King. I didn't read. I only got into like the first book of this Dark Tower series. Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, I'm not as hyped for it as everyone else.
Yeah, me neither. I'm going in with
because I'm not
you know,
familiar with the whole
meters.
story, but
expectations. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, only hearing from homies in Canada, Brandon's like all on this, and I guess Twitter and Facebook's like really fucking looking forward to this movie. I'm kind of mild on it, so I mean, all it has to do is not suck, and it's gonna get a recommend for me at least.
yeah. So hear what we had to say about the Dark Tower.
The slash tag configuration.
All right, welcome to this slash tag configuration.
Episode 1, season 2.
Yes.
First
Today,
slash tag of the new year.
all right,
Well, new season.
we're gonna do the I want to say more anticipated films
Of
of all time.
Yeah.
I guess if you followed the series, but yes, it's the
Or if you're a Stephen King head or that kind of deal, yeah.
Stephen King head.
It's a thing.
The Tark Tower. The Tark Tower.
The Talk Tower.
The Dark Tower. Yes.
Oka Sole.
Yeah. Directed by Nicolas Arcel. And written by, we got Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Pinkner, Anders Thomas Jensen, and we got the director Nicolas Arcel. And of course, this is based on the Stephen King novels, the Dark Tower series. Yes. And so it opens up, or maybe just a little bit, a little premise, summary of the film. A kid is having bad dreams. Of another world, and it looks like he might have some kind of mental illness problems.
Wow.
Turns out he is actually, those things are real. Of another world.
And he draws dope ass drawings.
He does. Those were really good.
I feel like,
drawings.
I've been
He
trying to
should be
draw
on-
these past 3 weeks, and I'm like, oh my god, this kid is just nailing it.
Right. And so the Dark Tower is in reference to the, it's an actual tower.
At the center of
center
multiverse.
of the entire, so when we say the universe, we mean everything. And it's kind of circular,
Well, they call it
map.
that, but I feel multiverse is a better term because not all of these worlds, they're on a different timeline.
Okay.
And they're not connected necessarily.
Sure. I
Other
see
than
what you're saying.
portals. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I feel uni is
Uni is just one, yeah.
one, yeah.
But like, there's actually they say there's just one whole universe with a bunch of different. Well, you can break it down to galaxies and then solar
I feel
systems.
because they're on parallels. You can't reach there through
Right.
space. You
Yeah.
need some kind of.
But there-
anyway, yeah, okay.
There's an outside.
An outside layer.
There's an outside.
With these creatures trying to get in, and these are the
Yes.
creatures from the Mist. These are the creatures from a lot of other stories.
Oh, yeah.
that are trying to break through this big ass force field interdimensional blockage that is
Right.
provided by the Dark Tower. Which I feel they made the Dark Tower, which is a thing of good, look like something super evil. Like straight up,
Oh,
this looks
right.
like where the Eye of Sauron hangs. I feel like bomb that shit, but don't, because it's the only thing keeping
Yeah.
those uglies out. Anyway.
But so the like these people who protect this Dark Tower are referred to as
Gunslingers.
gunslingers. Yes, and so there was actually like one final battle, and like kind of one remains. But we'll get into why he's no longer a gunslinger in a sense. But and you got the Man in Black who's trying to destroy this tower and take over the whole.
Oh, I feel
one
it's
universe.
less take over and more just destroy.
Yeah.
He just
okay.
wants to let the monsters in.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Also, I feel, I'll just say it at the top, this film suffers from a lot of tropes so badly.
Okay. Yes. But that's basically the movie in a nutshell. And
That is
so,
a movie in a
yeah.
nutshell, yeah.
And so, yes, we get into it, and I only got through a good chunk of the first book. I can say that
Aren't they skinny ass books? Or am I thinking of Green Mile?
I'm probably thinking of Green Mile, but they're actually like the first book's like maybe like 200 pages or so, but it's already different. I mean, I don't know what elements they took from the other books, but I can tell you, Jake, the kid with the visions, and the gunslinger, we know as Roland, played by Idris Elba. Oh, and Jake, who's played by Tom Taylor, did a really good job as Jake.
Yep.
Yes, excellent performance by him. They meet differently in the movie than they do in the book. Jake's already in the desert, and Idris Elba or Roland is already on the pathway to following the man in black, and he kind of passes out in the desert. Jake finds him, and kind of
They didn't in the film. They didn't do a good job of establishing the timeline very well visually. It had to be filled in with exposition to let you know that the vision he was seeing of Roland and his dad going up against Walter the Man in Black happened years ago, on the same day as the great battle that they lost.
Right. Because I think in the book it seems that the gunslinger Roland turned in because that's kind of like a title you earn, right? Like kind of like a
I
Jedi.
feel it was kind of like a reverent thing,
a ranking.
Yeah, like a Jedi basically. In fact, they are so, like they're written into the law to where if you request something of like villagers, they gotta like grant you.
Yeah, they have special privileges among towns. But like in the book, I think he becomes a gunslinger at a young age. So like.
I mean, I would hope so. I don't want nobody signing up for the gunslingers at like 25 and shit.
Yo, you ain't Luke.
Yeah, that's old.
You ain't Luke.
That's old. They, like with the Jedi, they taught how old was he when he tried to bring on Anakin? Like 8, and they're like, oh, that's old.
Oh yeah.
That is old.
It is.
He's supposed to be there from fucking sperm to term.
How are you gonna have Luke become a Jedi? It's gonna take a long.
I guess
time.
he had that much metachlorians, and also there wasn't much to choose from at that point. There was him, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda somewhere. Yeah. That was like the last 3.
Yeah.
And watch the nerds call it. No, there was actually this, that, and that on this place. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
17 years old is old.
But so in this one, so continuing on, there are actually these call them skinless people, or the ones without the skin.
Yeah. Oh, he had a name. Fake skin.
Fake skinners.
Yeah,
maybe.
fake skinners. Yeah, I don't know.
So the man in black, Walter, played by Matthew McConaughey, is trying to destroy this tower by using, I guess, the life force, or they call it the shine, of these kids, and they use that and it can kind of convert that.
If you're unfamiliar with the world and universe of Stephen King, yes, when you heard shine, yes, you are thinking of The Shining. Same ability.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't. Well, no, the title, but I didn't know if it was kind of the same thing.
Oh, it's exactly the same thing. The Shining. Yeah, that's what The Shining is about.
So they're using that to destroy this tower.
Yeah,
and
they're harnessing it to power up their like Death Star thing.
Yeah, and so it's different among the children. And
in fact, right, when they first show it, they have like 6 kids harnessed at the same time with one girl at the middle. But they were trying to say if they get Jake in there, all they need is him.
Right, yeah.
His shine is that sublime.
Yeah, so he's a special kid. Yeah. We're going to spoil this, by the way. Sorry, but no heads up, but you should have known that by now.
I feel like, if you watch our shit, listen to our shit.
So it's taken a long while. I mean, we don't know how time works between the worlds. But they finally find out that Jake is the one that will bring the tower down. His psychic abilities are up there with Professor X and Jean Grey.
That kind of deal, yeah. I feel like though, I mean, mutants could have solved this one fast one, but whatevs.
Yeah. So Jake is trying to run away from these
skin wearer guys,
fake skinners.
Yeah.
And
we're trying to take him to like a weekend retreat where those kind of weekend retreats where they make you whatever you are naturally.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, and he gets into the new or this other world where gunslingers
Mid Earth or mid
That's how they referred to it as
mid
Earth.
something, right?
Yeah.
All I heard was Middle Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they
but-
refer to our Earth as Keystone Earth.
Keystone Earth,
And I
yeah.
kept thinking of the beer that is so that's the cheap kind of
Keystone Light. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a terrible
Keystone.
beer. Well, no, I was thinking of Keystone as when you think of architecture in a bridge or engineering in a bridge. The Keystone is that one stone that's needed that if it's pulled, the whole structure comes collapsing. And I wonder if that's how it plays within these multiverses.
and Jenga.
And actually, yeah, think of it in Jenga. Yeah,
It's the
our Earth is
put a
the
pin like it's the weakness in the Death Star.
yeah.
You're gonna be
That
great.
one thing. But I like how they. Anyways, before I get sidetracked,
Yeah.
I always felt like really there's that one huge thing that to exploit, but it was put there.
And they said
By
the
Mads
desert.
Mikkelsen.
So in the book, they refer to this desert as very vast. And then
6 months ride, right, or
Yeah, a
something,
6-month walk. Or she probably didn't even think she's probably like, that's a drive. It's a 6-month drive.
It's a 6 months, yeah.
Or like they
Well,
probably
I didn't see
had
no
horses.
cars. That yeah, maybe a horse, but
Maybe a horse. In the book, it's a mule. They have a
they have an
Roland
ass.
has a mule. This is like the first half of like Fellowship of the Ring. Like, oh my god, we gotta walk.
Still
there?
walking?
Yeah, because I think it takes years from the Shire to Mordor.
I know, and it feels that way.
Yeah. So 6 months. So that's why they have these portals. That you
I mean, they
can,
started in what 2001 or
Yeah.
2002. They didn't get to fucking Mordor till 2005
Yeah. So Jake uses that 4-digit. It's 1919.
from his dream
Yeah.
to cast him,
So-
to where I guess they were.
Yeah. They don't say. I don't remember the place. The name of the place.
Because
It
anyway,
was in 1919. but-
yeah, it was 1919. Yeah,
Um,
I thought that she was gonna say 1919 was the year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And so, Roland and Jake hook up,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's got the. Jake pretty much has the blueprints. This is where you got to go. You got to destroy this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and like you were saying, the movie from at that point they meet up to the end. It's kind of rushed
yeah,
already.
it feels super rushed.
Yeah, but it was a good pace though.
The pace was good.
Yeah, so there are no like slow parts. You already know that they're gonna fight evil and bring down the Walter together. At that
They
point.
actually, the few fight scenes they had were great. The monsters in the forest, that was great.
Yes, so we get a peek into the demons.
Trying to come through, and these are probably on the lower level. Like they're not even at the scale of the Miss.
Right. Yes. Yes.
But this thing was terrible, though, was it not?
It was. Yeah. It gave
And
almost a life-threatening wound.
yeah, and I feel like Roland's over there capping off 20, 30 rounds when bullets is in low supply
Yeah.
in Middle Earth.
Yeah. But his are special bullets.
Okay, that's
Right.
what I was trying to think. Is the bullet special or is his gun special? Which was made out of Excalibur?
I think the bullets.
Then he's definitely wasting.
Oh no. Maybe the guns because he gets earth bullets.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah.
thinking later, right? Because
Yeah.
give me all of the 45 cals you got.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, let's just call it that the guns were
and
cast
then
from Excalibur.
Walter makes that reference. Yeah, in Keystone Earth, this metal or steel would be the equivalent to Excalibur, right? So yeah, that's his primary weapon. Is this stuff. But we have demons, and we also have the black. I keep saying the black man, the man in black, or just say Walter.
Wow.
His
black man.
his minions, right? Rat face. But
Rat
if
face,
I'm
yeah.
in the house, put some skin on.
Yeah, because I was wondering until they said that, like, okay, why the fuck they wearing face inside the compound?
Yeah.
Like, just let your rat face fly or whatever. But apparently Walter is not like them, and he
Yeah.
is turned off by rat face.
But we already know how Walter is by just his ability to put spells on people. Stop breathing, hate. He's
Yeah.
the girl they hate. But yeah, and Roland is actually immune
Yep.
for some reason to these
I
spells.
was thinking, is Roland a little bit of a shiner?
I don't know. Maybe he just has a special power because he comes from a very well known lineage.
But I'm
right?
wondering though, if all gunslingers are like Jedi, they have a little bit of metachlorian count.
Yeah.
So that applies to them. All gunslingers to be gunslingers, they gotta have some shine about them.
Sure.
Because how else can they don't shoot by aim? People like that's a big
yeah.
thing. They shoot with their mind and their heart. They don't even look when they fire.
Yeah, and then they keep referencing
The
You-
credo.
Okay.
That just means you've lost your way and you embarrass the people before you.
Yeah, yeah, in a sense. I won't say embarrassed, but you forgot their lessons, maybe in a sense.
I feel like when he was saying to those two sluts
Yeah.
on the bus, they are definitely embarrassing their people who came before them
Oh.
by being, slutty and drugged out.
Or they forgot the well, yeah, I guess in a sense, yeah. Because then I figured like, oh, the fathers
Come on, we're
already told them.
indigenous. Ancestral stuff is like should be important to us. Oh no. Also, I told you I'm full blown Hawaiian now, so that's like a thing.
Yeah.
It's Mo'olelo matters. Well, that was my take. That was my take. That's like the shame on your ancestors for how you act.
Sure.
You've forgotten the face of your father.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like that plays in. I like that credo too. And you know what? It was. I feel like it's super cheesy that they busted it out at the climax, but it didn't play that cheesy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because
felt
he was
it.
already. That was Jake going into Roland's mind. Yo, get up.
And they were
Go,
both.
go,
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Like to me, I think it should have played cheesy, but it was effective.
Yeah. And that last fight between Roland and Walter was kind
That
of.
was the kind of what are you gonna say?
It's very Matrixy.
It
like,
was Matrix.
they're almost on the same level.
Sense.
Like they're just throwing like shots at each other, and it's like, okay, one after the other, but then
I feel it was cat and mouse, but Walter didn't realize that with the help of Jake,
yeah.
Roland was no longer the mouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because when he finally gets shot,
Yeah.
the look on his eyes or in his face, he can't believe it, and it allows him to get shot a couple more times.
I see.
So that's kind of what I felt like. I really love the visuals of
Yes.
it.
Yeah. The bullets.
Yeah, and the glass.
Woo, they
And
got it
also,
really detailed.
best reloading of a gun ever.
Yeah. Roland is very quick on that, but then he got that I guess the new stuff from the gun store to like reload easier. That way he.
But
doesn't have
even
to put
before
it
that, right? He spins
individually.
the barrel and then it's just
Yeah.
boom, 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 and fast one.
And I guess there's no medicine in his world because he just took an antibiotic and that wound is no longer.
Right. Well, I mean, think about it, right? He was surprised to see like 100 people on the streets of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
in his world, like I don't know if there was even
That
100
was-
people in the Seer
That was
Village.
very Masters of the Universe.
That was
That was so funny. Like now we just gotta get Roland to eat like a bucket of chicken, and like that's the best. KFC is the best in the world. I mean,
Right.
just because
Here, eat it. What is it? It's a hot dog. What breed?
savage, y'all savage.
Savages.
I was like, all right.
That looked like a shitty hot dog too, but he seemed to enjoy it.
Well, that's New York hot dog, though, right?
But they're supposed to have the good ones, like
Yeah.
papaya, the papaya dog.
Oh,
thing.
right, yeah. But I'd say this movie is very entertaining, very
Yeah,
enjoyable.
definitely.
It's good balance of story and action, and it's a movie you can actually take with the kids.
Yeah, actually,
Although some parts are kind of dark, it might be scary.
little
That's why
dark,
it's
a
PG-13.
little blood, but
Yeah.
I mean, if your kids play video games and have seen other fare of recent times, especially
Yeah.
even in the PG-13 realm, this really is not going to do anything to give them nightmares. The monsters, and it's not really portrayed as a horror, although I thought it could have been done horrifically.
It could have been done, yeah, because
Yeah.
then it does. I mean,
There are some scary
dark
shit
elements,
going
yeah.
on, yeah, but
Sure.
I mean, feel free to take your key.
Yeah. Shout out to Idris Elba, Matthew
Always good.
McConaughey, Matthew McConaughey,
Hannah, hey,
McConaughey,
Huh?
McConaughey,
McConaughey. Yeah.
McConaughey.
I feel like he underacted this part, which I guess is better than if he went over.
Because, he is the bad guy in this one. But, yeah, you could say he underacted it. But, I mean...
Not to the point of
it's-
wooden, because he seemed to, take a certain kind of
think-
sadistic satisfaction from what
Sure,
he was doing.
yes,
but
yes.
I feel the character could have been, I don't know, just a little more. But I also think this
Yeah.
character could walk the fine line between extravagance
nice.
and just overacting. So, I mean, if I had to choose the two evils, I'd go with what Matthew McConaughey did by
Yeah.
underplaying it, unless they just edited out all the times he went over the top.
Okay. Tom Taylor was amazing in this one. Tom Taylor who played Jake.
Yep.
Really good job on him. And shout out to Catherine Winnick.
Yeah, Ono's in love already.
I know, right?
Them Canadian girls. That's the thing though, right? Down here, badass Canadian girl, and that's like a sticker, like a fucking car bumper sticker, and like a decal,
It could
car
be.
decal. I've seen it.
But the
Badass
Dark Tower.
Canadian chick, yeah. Oh, shout out to Jackie Earle Haley too. I mean, for
Oh, yes.
just an undervalued and undershown role.
It was,
you know.
and the part where he had to lick the stick, and he's like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
we got a shiner, we got a shiner."
Yeah,
in
they
this
didn't
one.
explain enough. I guess we're supposed to glean from that he has some kind of like bloodhound thing about him because he's
Yeah.
being referenced as a dog.
Right, but I think they all have that element, and I think he was just top dog, maybe.
Probably top. Yeah, well, he was top.
He was
yeah, definitely.
sheriff of Kingdom.
Oh,
Earth.
was he? Like True
sheriff.
Blood? He
Yeah.
was sheriff.
But yeah,
Overall, great movie. You know, go and watch it. Definitely. I hope they make others so we can see where this goes because it just felt like it ended a little too like convenient.
sure. It was I think it was probably a setup, pilot. See how this goes. Very Golden Compass.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they gave us an ending, and yeah, I look forward to more. If
I'd
they,
watch it. Yeah.
So, Doc Tower, go watch
watch
CC. All right. So now we got kicking and streaming. What are you recommending on this one?
I am recommending the Netflix original Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. I know it's months after it dropped, but you know, in case it's been lingering there on your watch list, I think you should bump it up the queue.
Yeah, and my recommends from Shutter movie.
Shut up.
So yeah, this is our kicking and streaming recommendations.
Kicking and streaming.
All right, welcome to this kicking and streaming, the first one of the year, season 2. So for my kicking and streaming, I recommend I have the Shudder exclusive 2014's Among the Living, the original title being Aux yeux de vivant. Or did you like that? That's yes. This movie is in French. So the film is directed by Alexandre Bustillo and Julian Mari, and written by them as well. The film stars Anne Marion, Theo Fernandez, and Francis Renaud. So the premise of this film is simple. 3 kids, young teenagers, about 13 years old, explore an old rundown film studio and witness a kidnapping. The kids escape only to be pursued by the alleged kidnapper, a tall, mysterious masked man. So, as simple as it sounds, the film makes for a great watch. It's exciting, it's thrilling, and there's quite a bit of cringe-worthy death scenes. The body count is a handful, but it's spread out, and not too over the top or overtly exaggerated, with the exception of the beginning, which was a bit borderline, but it merely just sets up key characters in the film. So the 3 teens in the film who witnessed this kidnapping are, your regular troublemakers, delinquents at a nearby school. Also, this is out in the country, so when I say nearby, I mean like 10 plus miles away. So they're the kind of group of friends who like to take shots at each other, with their words mostly, nothing too physical, although at one point in the film, one of them pisses on the other 2 to, get them to row faster because they'd be cruising in a boat.
I guess that would work.
Yeah, and they still be tight as can be, even afterward. But their backgrounds too are emphasized by a teacher who kind of calls them out for their undisciplined behavior due to their broken upbringing. Dan, the smallest guy of the group, comes from a family whose parents are going through a divorce. Tom, the supposed muscle of the group, is brought up by a single alcoholic father. And Victor comes from a family whose mother remarried after Victor's dad died from cancer. So these are little details. They're pretty important and says much about the characters themselves and their actions that show up later in the film. So now the main mysterious antagonist of the group or of the movie comes from a more terrifying background, more horrific than these 3 kids. But there's no real connection of the backgrounds between the mysterious masked man and the 3 kids. But it makes for an interesting parallel, though. I feel broken homes don't make broken people, but a person's upbringing may reflect their lifestyle. But without giving too much away, the beginning of the film pretty much explains why the masked man acts the way he does. And the whole film is simply just a wrong place, wrong time kind of scenario. But there's progression and growth in some characters. I praise the film for its original approach to a familiar premise and idea. The characters' chemistry keep me interested in the story, and the intensity of the tone throughout the film encourages me to stay to the end. And you will too. Among the Living, or Aux yeux de vivant, is currently available as a Shudder exclusive.
Okay, sounds awesome. Like, do they sell it any other place than Shudder? Because I am not a subscriber of Shudder.
Currently, no. And this is like this was a film released 2014, so you might be able to find it on DVD
Like
somewhere.
Vimeo or maybe.
I don't know if Vimeo though. But yeah, get that Shutter. Get that Shutter exclusive. Do you know Shutter's part of AMC?
AMC?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a sister company.
Oh, cool. So for my kicking streaming, I have Glow. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I hear
Oh.
before I go home.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it's created by Liz Flahive and Carly Mensch. A bunch of directors here. We got Lynn Shelton, Jesse Peretz, Phil Abram, Kate Dennis, Cian Heder, Melanie Mayron. Oh, I wonder. Claire Scanlon, Tristan Shapiro, and Wendy Stansler.
Are these all women directors?
Not all of them.
No. Okay.
A lot of them, though. Like Lynn Shelton, obvious. Starring Allison Brie, Betty Gilpin, Sydney Noel, Brittany Young, Ellen Wong, Mark Maron, Britt Barron, Kimmy Gatewood, Rebecca Johnson, Sunita Manny, Mariana Palka. Oh, good dick, Mariana Palka. Gail Rankin, Kia Stevens, Jackie Tone, Kate Nash, and Chris Lowell. So in this Netflix original, creators Liz Flahive and Carly Mensch take us into the origins of Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, the first American all-female wrestling organization. The idea for Glow was formed by a fledgling producer, probably during a coke high. He hired an out-of-work C-level horror movie director, played by Mark Maron, to see this endeavor to fruition. From there, they put out an open casting call. Enter Ruth, played by Allison Brie. Ruth is a struggling actress who can't get any shitty parts because she is unlikable, and can't get any good parts because I guess at that point in time, all the good parts were written for men. Boo-hoo. If you were darker and pale or had an accent, you were automatically cast as a villain. But maybe racist stereotype casting for paid gig is better than not getting work at all. Who knows? After failing to land the coveted role of secretary, Ruth goes on a woe-is-me jaunt with her bestie Debbie, a beautiful blonde who was a working actress on some daytime soap, until she gave it up to be a wife and a mother. The next day, Ruth gets a heads up on the open call, so she shows up. The director stutters in and lets them know this is a call for a wrestling show. More than half of the ladies exit. The remaining women are put through camera and stunt tests to see if they are suitable. When Ruth's turn is up, instead of following the direction she'd been given, which was to do a hammerlock and a basic bump, she takes it upon herself to come up with dialogue in an attempt to add drama and depth to the scene. The director is not amused, and he fires her on the spot. But Ruth doesn't let that deter her. It's here we begin to see more of her character than the irritating entitlement that's so off-putting about her. No matter how much you innately dislike a person, you can't help but respect persevering. She starts studying up on wrestling, working on some moves, working on her in-character interviews in the mirror, etc. Basically taking this shit seriously, despite the fact that it's just wrestling and not fucking Tennessee Williams or some shit. So she shows up back at the gym, gets into that ring, and basically makes an ass out of herself. But she does display a charisma that is hard to negate, like a traffic accident or the Bachelor's finale. Despite the negative energy of the spectacle, there is something must-watch about it, and Ruth taps into that perfectly. All eyes on her. Even the director seems to soften a bit on his initial opinion, and as a viewer, I even started to root for her. Then, boom, her best friend Debbie storms in, baby attached to her teat, screaming at Ruth, calling her a cunt. Apparently, Ruth has been sleeping with Debbie's husband. What a bitch. Actually, Debbie's right. That was a total cunt move on Ruth's part. And it's back to even with Ruth. Only this time the distaste is more acute. So Debbie passes her baby off to one of the other females, hops in the ring, and beats Ruth's ass. The director watches this, and he sees the vision of what this could be, what Glow could be as a polished product. The director eventually chases Debbie down and convinces her to join the show. So over the next few weeks, the ladies are moved into a motel. They make great leaps and bounds in their acting, athleticism, and ring presence. And on the business end, the director and the newbie producer are on the hunt for sponsors to pay for the network airtime. On the ring end, the ladies get ready for the first run show in front of a live audience. During this time, Debbie and her husband are estranged, and the friendship between her and Ruth is burdened by Ruth's betrayal, and complicated by the fact that Ruth and Debbie have a perfect dynamic as opponents in the ring and need to get their personal shit under control if they're going to make their professional shit work. So, right before the run-through with the live audience and representative from the network, the producer's mother cuts off his trust fund, leaving the show officially broke. To further complicate this, the evening's main event between Ruth and Debbie is ruined when her husband stops by to see the show and is horrified by his wife and this display of freak show. So that stops Debbie in her tracks and ruins the plot line she and Ruth had worked out. That kind of irritated me. Debbie's going to ruin the show because her husband, who is no great catch by the way, and who she doesn't even like, says what she's doing is stupid. Fuck him. I suppose the narrative of the story required this complication. I just found it off-putting. Ruth, on the other hand, is only gaining momentum. Her character creation for the show is on point. She's doing everything she needs to do, plus helping out the other girls and the director. And now she has to carry Debbie's ass? A cheater's a cheater. You can't refurbish that kind of broken. So the show is kind of a wash. But more importantly, the first taping of the show for the network is in jeopardy because they need a venue and the producer is broke because mommy took his trust fund away. Anyway, want to know how it ends? Watch the show. I'm actually old enough to remember the actual Glow. It aired in Hawaii late night, Saturdays I think, after WWF Main Event and Black Belt Theater. It was fucking horrible. Nothing like the level of female wrestling currently. It was cheap and exploitative and just awful. I've seen women wrestlers these days and it's still exploitative, but the difference is the women nowadays can fucking wrestle. They didn't pull from the acting pool. They pulled from like actual female athletes and fitness models. You know, sprinters make good bobsledders, but actresses make crap wrestlers. But as horrible as the finished and aired product was, the story behind Glow is a story worth telling and watching. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Netflix, which is a high rating I usually reserve for classics and just all-out greatness. I don't know if Glow fits that bill exactly, but it is engaging. The characters are written well and acted with great depth, and the show hits peaks and valleys with the plot lines and character arcs. And most of all, it doesn't pound you over the head about women's rights and equality or use its plot to preach. It lets the story speak for itself. So for me, Glow gets a big fat yo watch CC. So that was Kicking and Streaming. So about Shudder, like, is there any reason you picked that over Screenbox or others like that? Is it just the first one you signed up for, or?
Yeah, pretty much, and just the titles that they had were pretty interesting, and it's. I don't know if it's like they're part of like AMC network.
Oh,
so,
okay.
And they got a lot of good titles, yeah, for like horror and stuff.
Do they carry any series on there or strictly movies?
There's a series coming up that I forget what it's called, but it's kind of more kind of documentary-esque kind of stuff. And they have podcasts that are pretty cool. They do that audio theater stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And some of it is pretty like thrilling and graphic, and there's even like sex scenes.
So like, okay, how does it show up on the interface? Like usually they'll have the movie poster. It's got something you click on and then you just hear the audio, or?
Oh no, I mean through iTunes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So as a subscriber, you get access to those.
It's free. I mean on iTunes, you don't have to subscribe to Shudder, but they do have like it's part of the Shudder
network or MC. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
cool. And do they have any originals? I know they have exclusives like Among the Living, but
31 I think was exclusive to Shudder.
Right. I know. I still haven't fucking see that. No, but like they're not producing anything yet, like Crackle.
No, that's just that series that's the one I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
that one.
Okay. I'm sure they must be working up to it though.
But
and then they're gonna jump the subscription costs.
Right.
So Secular Insanity.
Yeah. So this one for this episode, we're switching it up.
Yeah. We're gonna do that a couple times this season.
Yeah.
We thought we'd do a change. So.
So I'll be reviewing movie. The
Creature feature. Oh my
Yes,
God, yeah.
The Monster.
The Monster with Zoe Kazan and that little girl who's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. They're both
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel this was one of those underrated movies.
This would have to, if there were a list of awesomely underrated movies. I think not much buzz came around, and what did, I think, was underwhelming. So I think a lot of people have not seen this movie, even though it's for free on Prime. People.
Yeah. Get into it
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about it.
for sure.
Secular insanity.
For this secular insanity, I have the 2016 horror film The Monster, an unbroken picture written and directed by Brian Bertino, whose other works include 2008's The Strangers and 2014's Mockingbird. The film stars Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantine as mother and daughter, respectively, and who both displayed just stellar and wonderful performances. Also in the film are Aaron Douglas, Christine Adabi, Mark Hickox, Scott Speedman, and Chris Webb as the monster, and Miko as the wolf. Alright, so a brief summary of the film. It's a story about a mother and daughter who clearly have a broken relationship that's established within minutes at the film's start. They're traveling to the daughter's father's home, and on the way there, they accidentally hit a wolf and are stranded on the side of the road. They later encounter a creature that set out on killing them, and they must find a way to escape its clutches. Sounds like a simple creature film, huh? Well, the story is actually a bit deeper than that. Rather, the film is focused on the mother-daughter relationship. The film's establishing shot is on Lizzie, daughter of Kathy, in deep thought, with Roger Miller's A World So Full of Love playing in the background. She then tends to what looks like chores, cleaning up around the house, and then she wakes her mother up, who turns out overslept when she should have been on the road already an hour before. After a heated exchange with her daughter, she falls back asleep only to wake up about 7 hours later. Earlier, Lizzie mentions that her dad should have picked her up instead of her mother having to drive to his place. This makes clear that Lizzie not necessarily favors her father over her mother, but instead knows he is more responsible. And to be clear, Lizzie's father never makes a physical appearance. He's there at one point through a phone call, but that's it. We get a more clear picture of what Lizzie and Kathy's relationship is like and what it's led to up until the present time through a series of flashbacks. One scene involves Kathy just cussing Lizzie out, which really didn't merit such a lashing of horrible words considering what Kathy was upset about. But regardless, it's irrelevant and no parent really should be talking to their child that way. Another scene presents us with Kathy relapsing back into drinking. Granted, she's only been sober 2 days, but 2 days could be an eternity. In this scene, after vomiting and passing out on the floor, Lizzie walks into the bathroom with her mother passed out. She cuddles next to her. We get this top view shot of the two on the floor with Lizzie behind her mother in a sort of comforting embrace, which seems odd because it really should be the other way around. One of the more thrilling flashbacks presents us with Lizzie wanting to kill her mother while she was sleeping on the couch. It's no doubt that she's passed out on the couch from a night of drinking, and we get the sense of a frustration Lizzie has with her mother. Again, a child at this young age shouldn't be feeling this kind of emotions toward a parent. Clearly, something's wrong. So now about 34 minutes into the film, we are finally presented with the monster. It's made clear to us that there is literally a supernatural creature in this film. Supposedly a big reveal, but instead, this moment is juxtaposed with another flashback, a more intensified one where Kathy hits Lizzie and abandons her in the basement and runs up to her boyfriend Roy, played by Scott Speedman, who just left in a hurry for a beer run. As the film progresses, we learn who the real monster is. Whether it was intended or not to be a jab on substance abuse or just plain alcoholism, this movie has a pretty creative, almost literal way of commenting on the struggles of battling inner demons. And for a child to endure all of that struggle, that hate, that addiction, and witness it transform and later destroy their mother, fighting off some supernatural no-name creature of the night shouldn't be a problem. It's a bittersweet ending as Lizzie walks off into the dawn after one hell of a night. One final flashback explains why Lizzie stuck around for as long as she did. And it's simple. I just want you, says Lizzie to her mother. It's true, monsters do exist in this world in one form or another. And to be clear, you get a creature in this film, with a story, a bomb-ass story. Much praise again goes to the amazing performances by Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantine. Brian Bertino hit a home run with this one. It's a very organic film with natural, thrilling undertones and just awesome storytelling. The Monster. Yo watch CC.
Dope, yeah. Well, you know how I feel on that. We equally thumbs up for The Monster.
Yes. So what you got for Shortest Straw?
For my stab at the short form, I have a film which is currently in post-production called Friend, little R. So it kind of looks like Fiend.
Ooh,
Yeah.
clever.
Yes. It is by a filmmaker who used to be based out of Hawaii. He has since relocated to Georgia, which apparently is the biggest film hub in the world now. Last year they did $7 billion, which outgrossed Hollywood and Canada. 247 films were made there
Wow.
in that year alone.
You think it's because of that? Well, like at the end of like a show, it would say like Georgia Peach. Because that's like Walking Dead. That's like
All the Marvel films.
Yeah. Wow. Is it just nice scenery there?
To me, not so much. It's just that as part of their economy, they've really made it good for studios and independents to go there and work. The whole town is kind of about filmmaking, and there are hubs and groups and studios everywhere. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, I mean, it's good to think about, yeah. But only thing is, like, right? Fucking Georgia. Whatever, so. But yeah, I have Friend. Check it out.
The Shortest Straw.
Okay, so for the shortest straw, I have the short film entitled Friend, written, directed, and pretty much everything done by Curtis Thackeray. So, the story. An unknown killer plagues Adam County, which I think is in Georgia. Police are at their wits' end. Co-eds are walking around like meat for the beast. Who will be next? It opens with a woman with an angel tattoo being stalked, then abducted, and then murdered. After the killer cuts the tattooed piece of skin off her arm. Then he dumps the body. From there, we're introduced to our two main characters, both college students. They can feel that they're being watched, but they don't know by whom. Throughout the story, they keep seeing weird and inexplicable things, flashes of light, smoke that takes a corporeal form, etc. The main girl is also accosted repeatedly by a rogue gallery of creeps. In the end, the killer gets the girl, and eventually gets his. But the ending is the coolest part, so I won't spoil it for you. The cool thing about this film is the stylistic choices the writer-director Curtis Thackeray makes. It's really slim on dialogue and light, but in contrast, the mood is heavy as fuck, and there's a feeling that you never really know what's going on, partly because of the sparse lighting, and partly because of the disjointedness of the flow of sequences. The transitions are choppy, and there's so many red herring creepers out there, you begin to feel overmucked and disoriented, much like a lot of these young women in urban settings must feel. The director accomplishes a lot in this 20-some odd minutes, pulling you, or should I say, abducting you, into the world of this story, and torturing you with bits and pieces of a puzzle he intentionally made unsolvable. It's a bit sadistic in that respect, because the story is set up like a lot of similar fare, making you think there's a mystery to be solved, when, in fact, much like the killer in the film, the director has put you in front of a wall and told you it's a door. While not a horror film, the psychology employed by the filmmaker exploits our inherent fear of strangers and the strange, painting a darkly vivid portrait of the macabre mundane, while simultaneously giving you hope and straight up taking that shit away just so you can laugh. You'll have to watch this one a few times to fully get the plot or understand how they're connected, but that's if you can get past the creep factor. Also, the budget on this is paper thin, but delivers a sizable amount of production value and visual effects. It's currently being prepped for the Spring 2018 festival run, but should be available to watch on the filmmaker's Vimeo and other social media after the festival season. And it's definitely a Yo Watch CC.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll have to definitely check that one out.
Yeah, I sent you the link.
Alright, cool. All right, up next for this Schrody's Ladder wild card segment,
Wow.
we got another Dreamcast. And this time we're gonna pitch a remake for the Stephen King movie.
Stephen King. Again, I told you, Stephen King, all
Written
day,
by
air
Stephen
day.
King, yeah. Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, Sleepwalkers.
And oh my god. I gave it an Asian cast because I want to diversify it up,
Yeah.
and also I want to see Russell Wong and Grace Park like fight at the end. Maybe that's
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like the tone has really changed in your version.
They're gonna
I went Asian-ish too. I don't know what you consider Filipinos.
Right.
There's some debate as to what they are. Southeast Asian, South Pacific.
Because yeah, when you say Asian, they're like, no, there's only 3, but then you got the Southeast Asians, and then some call them Pacific Islanders.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you guys got Maui in your lore, so maybe you are closer to us. But then, I don't know what else lores too. Because you guys got some scary fucking demon shit, so you could be close to Japanese too. Like,
Right.
they got that Kasha, and you guys got Aswang and all that kind of like, ooh. Speaking of the Aswang, look it up. I incorporated that a little bit into my version of Sleepwalkers remake.
Yeah, and we're gonna take out that Sleepwalk song because they played it too much in that movie.
Really?
Like,
Because I feel like I remember that was the first time I actually got into that song, and I didn't even remember that it was played over and over in La Bamba.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's weird because then you played it in this movie. It's definitely a different tone.
Mm-hmm.
Like just 'cause of the subject matter.
It's creepy, but the subject matter creeps it out more, like with
Yeah.
the incest and shit. Like,
And
you know,
they played it a lot. Like, come on, man. Like, and it would be perfect too because vinyl's in, so they got the original
Yeah.
7-inch.
Yep. Yeah, and vinyl is in, so I mean, they won't have to change it to like some digital bullshit, Because there's something
Right.
creepy and old timey, right, about the phonograph and putting the needle on the record.
All right, yeah. The original wind up, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that far,
Yeah.
but
All right, so
in
yeah,
that vein. Yeah.
this is our Dreamcast. We're gonna pitch this.
Sleepwalkers.
Schrody's Ladder.
All right, welcome to this Schrody's Ladder. Today we're gonna do another segment of Dreamcast. This film we want to remake is the '92 Sleepwalkers.
What's the name? Early 90s, yeah.
Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. The one with the
The weird cats.
the weird cats.
And the fucking mouth sucking, suck my kiss kind of deal. Yeah.
Yes, so we wanted to, because there are a couple movies coming out. They're originally Stephen King novels. Stephen King wrote this.
I just feel like, I feel, but actually no. This was Stephen King's first actual adaptation of his own idea, like his script.
Oh, okay.
And that's another reason why this was shitty. But like, I feel this is such a resonant story. It could be.
Right.
It just was done shitty. That's why me and Ono want to.
Revamp it.
We want to give it to the studio
Yes, we want to give it to the studio.
to have them remake it.
So we're
I
gonna.
feel like we should have talked about directors and director DPs.
Did you have
but, yeah.
a director in mind for your pitch? Okay,
I do not.
I'm gonna throw in. Okay, I got 15 million for you to make this. Okay, what is your pitch, Mox? Give it to me. What do you got?
Me first. Okay, so basically, there's not too much difference, but okay. So
main cast.
we're all familiar with this, right? Sleepwalkers are a race of shape changing.
Oh, shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters siphon the life out of virgins to
Yeah.
feed their mothers.
Well,
So-
to live, and then they can die from a scratch of a cat.
Yeah, cats are lethal for whatever
Yeah.
reason. I feel like that was not expounded on.
They
enough
just said
anyway.
cat, yeah. What
And,
you
like,
got against
Yeah.
cats?
So
Anyway,
so
What you got?
main storyline changes. Okay. The mom and son, who were called Charles Brady and Mary Brady, they are from Derry, Maine. Okay.
original.
Initially, yeah. And they come to the Philippines, fleeing America from the scene of their last feeding, which happened in Lawrence, Kansas. It got super messy. They basically killed the whole fucking town. So
Damn.
they just need to change countries, okay?
Any reason why the Philippines? It would be cheaper to film there.
I feel because this kind of story is more organic in the Philippines, and I'm about to bring up with the Aswang, like.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you can. Nice. Okay.
So, my number one point of contention that I would tell the studio head is, we gotta take out the incest shit. Okay, that's not a thing that I can. It stopped me when I was 11 and 12. It just
That's the only thing you remember about this
it's-
movie. Was
Well,
not-
that and the cats.
Right?
It just it's not a. I don't want the
was-
movie marred by that, because everything else becomes secondary to
It
that
does,
plot
yeah.
point.
That was the most shocking part of the movie.
Yeah, it kills the story.
It
and
wasn't the
buries it.
scene where the guy got stabbed through the ear.
No.
It wasn't the scene with the cats getting their necks cracked, right? On
The
the
guy's
spot.
fucking his mom. That's and me. I'm a
Ro-
mama's boy, so
Ron Perlman got
That's-
his hand bitten off. No, you don't remember that. You just remember the guy from the Return to Blue Lagoon.
fucks Alex Creed. Yeah, his mother. So okay, we're taking that out. The son still hunts for Virgin's life force, but he feeds his mother in a less gross way. I feel like even if he just were like to hover above her
Or,
and just like
Mama
you
Bird,
know?
Baby Bird.
yes. Only thing, baby bird, mama bird, right?
But-
Okay. But the main change is this is more of a love story / horror than the original. So Charles actually does fall in love with Tanya, who in this story, her last name is Velasco. Her name is Tanya Velasco, and she is a Filipino girl student. And he takes her to the cemetery to do rubbings because that's her thing, and that scene is just boss, guys. Sorry, I fucking burped. But he's unable to kill her, okay?
Oh, why?
Because he loves her.
Oh,
She understands. Like, I feel like okay, we'd have to move this to are they called provinces in
Yeah, you can say
Philippines?
province, yeah.
Provinces, yeah. This is a province where Aswang and fucking lore lives.
all right.
So they're not so quick to judge or be like, but these guys are still Hollies there. What they call that in the Philippines, Hollies.
Oh, just say white man.
Yeah, but what's the word?
Oh, I don't know, like a tourist.
Not a tourist, just a white, like
Oh, like like guaylo or
yeah.
gringo.
Yeah.
There's no
No,
term, just a white guy.
I feel like we need to add a real Filipino to our show. Anyway, so
Oh no. Well, you can call him purao.
Purao.
Yeah, like
That's a pretty dope name,
no.
Purao.
Well, it's that
Like
one
fuck
joke.
you, Purao. Stick to your own kind.
Well, what did the black cat say to the white cat?
What?
Purao.
Is that a joke in Philippines?
Yeah, no, that's a joke here, I think.
Oh, for real. Well, I feel like in Hawaii we're close to that, but I wanted to set it in the actuality. From
Yeah, you
which
would call him
whence it
purao,
comes.
and
Okay.
that's the word for white. Not necessarily white guy, but like just white.
Okay. So he can't kill Tanya. So at another scene,
Tanya
after,
Velasco, come on.
yeah, she's hot, bro, and she's fucking deep.
She's okay.
So at another scene, he makes out with slutty girl who has been throwing herself at him since like he came to the school. Okay, and he kills her. But Tanya witnesses it and she's freaked the fuck out. And then, a whole thing happens and his eye gets injured and all of that. Everything pretty much the same from there. She goes to the cops, but only this sheriff or whatever the constable or, whatever the fuck you call it in the Philippines. His backstory is that as a child, his infant brother was sucked out of his mother's womb by an aswang, which is a Filipino vampire shapeshifting thing that likes to feed on the embryonic fluids of pregnant mothers.
Wow.
So this guy is less caught off guard by that because, he doesn't want to believe that that's what he saw when he was young, and everybody's telling him crazy because they're moving into the modern world.
I wonder if here's an idea, like you open the movie up with or when they enter the Philippines, right? Like kind of foreshadow that by someone eating bullet.
Oh, the chicken egg?
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like we'd have to explain. But
Because
yeah.
They want that.
No.
Some people
yeah.
love that fluid in there. Like that's the soup.
I
they
can't
said.
do that, son.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, I'm not Filipino enough for that.
I did it once.
Apparently, you are not either. And this son's name is Ramiscal. That's like pure, like the fucking Spaniards couldn't chain it. Anyway, so he's not clueless as Hellboy, right? The Hellboy sheriff. So, anyways, and so in my vision, there'd be more of a struggle for Charles because he has to choose between his mother and his love, Tanya. And I think it should end with him embracing the mother with like a hug and like, Mom, I'm sorry, but our time is over, you know? He opens the door and, you know, to wherever the fuck they are, and he lets the horde of cats in and they devour them.
Damn.
Also, Tanya, you know, she's a cute, nerdy girl who volunteers at a no-kill animal shelter that has a ton of cats. So that's where the cats come from, not from, like, the fucking deputy, you know?
Yeah, right.
But still, the main cat that she loves is Clovis. She isn't well-liked at school. You know, she's bullied. Because she weird, like a young cat lady in training. Plus, she hang out in cemeteries doing grave rubbings. So, I mean, that's not a popular kid. Anyway, at the climax, Mary, the mother, is beating the shit out of Tanya. And Charles uses the last of his fucking strength, right? Because he's needing the mom to rescue him, right?
Right.
He uses the last of his strength to put a mom off her and stop her from killing his love, Tanya. The sheriff, Mark Dacascos, enters, and he has Charles dead to rights. Bam! Tanya kills him. And then at that point, realizing that he's had this pure love with Tanya, and he knows that he'd only corrupt her life because what he is not a natural thing. He wants her to live.
Tanya Velasco, please.
Tanya Velasco. And so he kills himself and his mother by opening that door and, you know, thus ending their lineage. But I feel what I would do is I would play more into the Sleepwalker theme of the dreams. In dreams is where he and her could have a life. And I'd play that story out.
Nice. And then you can end it with Cranberries' Dreams.
I like that song, but I don't know. I feel like Sleepwalking is the perfect song for this movie.
You'd have to end it with Sleepwalk, yeah. It's actually called Sleepwalk, not Sleepwalking.
Okay. Johnny and Santos. Okay, so yeah.
But see, well, I was going to say, you can't end it because
Grace Park, really?
Wait, you got to name your cast, though.
Okay.
So who's going to play the son?
The son, I have only name. Charles Brady is played by Miles Teller.
Miles Teller.
If he turns down this, I'm moving on to Psycho Meets Girl. Okay?
Miles Teller, don't pass this up, please.
So, but for the mother, Mary Brady, my number one pick is Amy Ryan. You know, Amy Ryan from The Office and Gone Baby, Gone Girl Gone, or Gone Baby Gone, whatever. Yeah. Number 2, Famke Johnson. She can do it.
She can do it, but I don't want. Well, you're not gonna have the incest stuff. I didn't want to see Miles Teller making out with Famke Janssen.
Yeah, I don't. I'm getting rid of that incest thing. That's too creepy. 3, Lena Headey from Games of Thrones.
Oh,
she could do it, definitely.
So who's gonna play Tanya Velasco?
Tanya Velasco. Ooh. I am open to suggestions.
She gotta be Filipino.
She does not have to be Filipino.
Oh, she just got that name.
She just
Tanya.
has to look like it. She could even be a white girl or Mexican girl.
Oh, and she could be like a Southeast Asian.
She could.
Yeah.
I want
Taiwanese.
you know who I wanted, but she's a little too old though.
Who?
Sarah Malakawala Big Jugs.
Oh, Sarah Malakul Lane.
Yeah, I want her in this movie, but she can't be.
She looks more from like Southeast Asia than she would be a Filipino.
You understand that Filipinos is right next door, right?
But, well, I'm thinking more brown skin. That's why she's more
She's like
fair.
light skin. Yeah, she is. She
She's
is
more fair.
and she got that big titties. Although Filipino girls like has. I mean,
Well,
I don't know if you guys
she could
ever
tan. I think she
undressed a Filipino girl, but they got nice full titties. I mean, I haven't done like the whole fucking race, but the Filipino girls that I have undone, it's like a sweater song.
So,
Anyway, but, okay.
Slutty
So,
girl who Charles
Yeah,
kills.
slutty girl
instead.
who Charles kills instead. I did not cast that. I
okay.
failed to cast
That's
that.
still
She could
open?
be- yeah, she could be
So-
anybody really.
The budget, okay.
unimportant.
So far, this is going towards Miles Teller. So 10 million of that 15 million.
No, he's not no 10 million
He
player.
ain't no
I feel
10
like,
million.
yeah.
He's
I feel like
still-
we spend more money on the mom,
He's
which
still
we should.
6 figures, you think?
No, he's a 7, but he's a low 7,
Low
and
7.
he'll take a scale. I feel if 10 million is our budget,
Yeah.
he'll take a scale,
Oh, okay.
which could be 150, which could be 350, which is not his rate. But
Right.
I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Mark Atkins? Come on, guy.
All right, so Sheriff goes to Mark Dacascos.
Mark Dacascos, one and only. If
All
he
right.
doesn't take it,
Yeah.
Jason Scott Lee. Okay, but cameos as the cemetery caretaker.
Yeah.
I want Alice Krige, who initially played the mother in the first
Yes,
in
nice.
the original, and as a lab technician, I want Emily Perkins, who is
Yeah.
the Canadian actress from Ginger Snaps, who was also
Yeah.
in It
Yes.
as the younger version. Yeah.
Young Beverly Marsh.
Young Beverly Marsh, yes. And as the second lab assistant, I want Seth Green, who was also in
Yeah.
It.
He's
as
Richie.
Yes.
Richie. Yeah.
And then as the forensic tech, I would like Will Wheaton. And as forensic tech 2, I would like Jerry O'Connell, who were both in
Yes.
the other Stephen King awesomeness, Stand By Me.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, that's what I got.
I like this pitch so far, but I can't think of a Stephen King movie that was in a foreign country. I mean, at the top of my head, like I can't say I've read every Stephen King book either.
Right.
But I mean, usually we're in the Midwest or in another
Maine-ish,
world
Yeah.
or post-apocalyptic Earth.
Well,
Alright.
all of his stories kind of center around Derry, Maine, which is a
Right.
made-up place, but I feel that's where he got raped.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's my pitch.
Okay, let's hear it.
Got this one. All right, so basically same story,
Okay.
and I'm not talking shot for shot. Same
sequel,
premise.
okay.
Yeah, but we can there are no sex scenes. We can have like an implied sex scene, like
Okay, I like
two people, the mother and son go through the door, and you
Hand
see,
on the window.
Hand
Oh,
on-
wait.
Titanic kind
Mother
of-
and the son, we're gonna imply the incest.
we're not gonna show it.
I can't
But
be down with this.
Can't be down with that.
Just that one. That's a point of
Okay.
contention, but fine. I won't stop your narrative because I believe there's merit. This is just one sticking point.
It won't be as shocking as like the.
But I feel, how would
original.
you explain it later if you weren't gonna full blown depict it?
Well, I think before they walk into the door,
Mm-hmm.
she could say, "I'm famished. Feed me."
Okay, but that would play, but it wouldn't. They wouldn't
would-
necessarily think incest is happening.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't have.
and you're
to think-
fine with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think
just
that
have
could work.
them-
I think that could work.
Yeah,
I think that
so
could work. Yeah.
to clear it up, they don't have to do that, but
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It's just whatever your
They'll
mind
walk through the
goes
door.
to. Yeah.
close it.
Hand on the thing.
Yeah,
Titanic.
guess-
Yeah.
maybe some nudity. No, but what I have
Tit
here,
on the glass.
no, you would feed. I was thinking of like Louis from Interview with the Vampire,
Mm-hmm.
like to satisfy the mother's hunger. She'd be like eating pigeons. At one point I had her eating like roaches and insects because I really want David Cronenberg to direct this movie.
Oh,
So
okay.
my 10 million of the 15 will go towards his salary.
Is that his rate? Like, do you know?
No, I
Like,
don't
is
know.
that- okay.
I don't know.
Because I think that's way above
Yeah.
what he's worth. But okay.
Cause I want there to be a cameo. You know, the beginning part we had Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
but I want that to go to Viggo Mortensen.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
As like just an uncredited cameo.
Yeah,
As
like,
Lieutenant, whatever the fuck his name. Okay.
Cause he was in No History of Violence and Eastern Promises, right?
Right.
Yeah, Cronenberg movies. Yeah. Okay, so
Why
basically
not
the
Jeff Goldblum
Jeff Gold-
or fucking Christopher Walken. Anyway,
all right, yeah.
from the better Cronenberg movies. Anyways.
Cause that's how good Eastern Promises was.
I hated that movie. Anyway.
We got the main cast. Oh, and for this one, my pitch, we're gonna diversify it up and have pretty much an all Asian cast. But it's still
I feel like all your pitching is just different races. Like you haven't altered the story at all.
we're just replacing it, right? So the mother and the son, the
Oh,
mom
yellow wash.
goes to Grace Park, cause now she's off Hawaii 5-0. She got time.
She's shitty though, and she's not old enough. You think she's old enough to play somebody's mom? You think she's old enough to play like
you know how old Alice Krige was when she did Sleepwalkers?
How?
About like late 30s,
how old is fucking Grace Park?
early 40s.
Okay, and how much more talented is Alice Krige than Grace Park? You realize she's not a great actress.
I sense that.
Yeah, but you
But-
still
Just give
because
it.
she'll bring people
Yeah.
to the show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, you that studio dude.
The
All
son.
this time,
The son is played by Justin Lee.
Justin Lee or Justin Chon?
Justin Lee. Do you remember Arrested Development? He's
Yeah.
the kid that played the adopted Korean son.
Oh yeah.
Ong Young.
Okay, Ong Young. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Virgin Girl goes to Krista Marie Yu. She's on the Dr. Ken show.
Oh, as who? The daughter.
I believe so. The daughter. Yeah. Just at the top of my head, I couldn't think
So
of a
what
young.
kind of tone are you going for in this? Like, are you trying to make the movie better or just as shitty but with Asians?
I want to diversify it up by giving it an Asian cast.
But that's what I just asked. Is it the same but now they're Asian, but in America? Oh, Jay.
This is the part of America that no one sees, so we need Asians in here. Okay, so the girl's dad is going to be played by Russell Wong, just because Vanishing
Because
Son.
you want to give him work, I know.
And he's a charming dude, regardless of how minor the role is. I'm like, Russell Wong is a cool dude, and like,
So we're gonna keep to the original story. I do not see Grace Park ripping Russell Wong to shreds. I just don't.
you know, oh yeah, he take her down fully. That might be a good fight though. I'm gonna
We're
throw on
putting
martial
fucking fight scenes in this.
arts. Russell Wong versus Grace Park. Fight.
Okay, for the 3 people listening, this is Jay's doing a thing here, but he's much deeper than this. He really is.
The girl's mom. Guess who?
I don't even want to.
Constance Wu.
I like Constance Wu.
I don't, but give her that
Why
role.
don't you like her? You just want to see her get ripped up by Grace Park?
Get her. She'll get her ass whooped by Grace Park. Oh, we got that.
And then
one
she'll
scene.
have something to say on Twitter.
I'm giving the sheriff's role to Idris Elba.
You realize he would not be in this movie.
I wanted to give his deputy the role to Matthew McConaughey. Just kind of a shout out to Dark Tower, but I'm
The
actually,
best actor, Matthew
small
McConaughey.
stuff.
Come on, guy.
Well, I'm giving it
Are
to
you
Alan
trying?
Tudyk. Alan Tudyk.
Okay, I feel we
Yeah.
maybe might like he is more in the realistic realm of
Yeah.
who we could get.
So that's who. And we got the high school teacher. I'm giving that to Daniel Day Kim
Okay,
because
I feel to me that's an insignificant role, but yeah, okay.
just to give him to diversify it up. And so this is that's my Sleepwalkers cast, basically it. But it's not shot for shot the same thing though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it should. I think you can intensify this. Like there will be a better fight between the humans and the Sleepwalkers. I wanna, even though that they're Asians, and it doesn't have to imply like
Martial
hand-to-hand
arts, yeah.
combat, but it'll just be really cool. I mean, give them a
I feel like
fighting
you're robbing the
chance.
story with that, but it's not that kind of confrontation story. But I mean, sorry, that's just my take, you know.
So we hope these pitches will get greenlit. Please let us know which one you favor on Twitter, if possible.
That would be great, actually. If anybody's listening, yeah, let us know. Hashtag Mox, hashtag Ono.
The Asian crew versus I
Soy
noticed
crew.
in your crew or cast there are no Pacific Island.
Well, see, because I'm going to do my movie about Hawaii, but it's going to be dope.
Yeah, all right.
I feel like Sleepwalkers could best be served if I were to redo it.
No.
As a producer,
Yes. Well, no, you direct it. Go ahead.
I wouldn't. What did I tell you about our film that we're working on? Like,
All right.
I shouldn't be the one to direct it. I'll make it ludicrous.
All right, that is our Dreamcast for Sleepwalkers
The remake of the 1992
ish.
ish.
Sleepwalkers, yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Dig it. Can you dig it?
Man. Yep. So that's what we got for that.
Well, any studios out there, pick this up, please.
Yep. But you know what? We're indie, so we don't rely on the studios. And then we put that message out to all you folks listening. Like, fuck a studio, fuck whitewashing, fuck all that. You want something done, do it yourself. There are resources. Just make it happen.
Right.
Take your Sleepwalkers and make it. But, go ahead.
No, yeah. So this is Seno 6.
Yeah, continuing
Continue
on
the
our
Stephen
Stephen King deal. we have
Our top 6 Stephen King adapted
films.
flicks.
These are examples of non-shitty Stephen King movies, like, because almost every Stephen King adaptation that's horror is fucking shitty.
Huh.
You don't think so? Like fucking Needful Things and fucking.
Well, I didn't get into those, but the TV movies. I mean, I watched
The
them as a
TV
kid.
movies were great.
Yeah.
I'm talking about theater movies, fucking Thinner and
Some of those were
Graveyard Shift.
like Thinner was kind of like Tales from the Crypt, kind of like,
Yeah, it didn't need a whole hour and a half.
like Thinner. that was it.
It's a fucking terrible fucking movie.
And then he's getting some in the car while
Right,
he was
right, right.
driving. Jesus, like
Yeah,
they overplayed that one. It's like, whoa! Like when I first saw that scene, it's like, God, this is a Stephen King movie. But yeah. So this is our list. Hope you like it. Let us know what you think.
Xenosex.
The box. We came. Now you must come with us. Taste our pleasures.
All right, welcome to this Seno 6. Today's list consists of our top screen-adapted films based on Stephen King novels and short stories. I've only read one novel, though, his memoir, and a handful of short
No, but you read On Writing, right?
Yeah, his memoir, yeah. Oh, and The
Oh,
Stand.
yeah.
Yeah, The Stand, too.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I was gonna say some shit, but I can't even remember the shit I'm trying to talk shit about.
But the made-for-TV adaptations were scary enough, too, so I'm thinking his books were more horrific. What was the first Stephen King movie you've seen?
I probably saw it before I realized it was a Stephen King thing, but Carrie.
Oh,
But I've actually read Carrie and I read Cujo and a lot of those old school stuff, and the movies cannot compete with the books. Obviously, I hate to be that guy, but yeah.
well, it's true, yeah. Yeah, like The Stand comes nothing too close to
I've
it.
never actually read The Stand. I tried it, but it was just
And I think they actually combine characters just for, I think, time.
yeah. Well, already it was like what 4 hours of tape.
Right.
We're from the days of tape, people.
Yes. The majority of Stephen King movies, though, I've seen growing up were mostly the made-for-TV stuff, like It, The Stand, and Langoliers.
Mhm.
I remember renting Children
The
of the
better
Corn,
ones.
though.
Yeah, I rented that too, and it, Malachi and Isaac and all
Yeah.
that shit.
And Pet Sematary, too, even though, that wasn't technically his.
That
but-
wasn't his at all,
yeah.
dude.
But it was, Edward Furlong. But that got me to see the first one, which was a lot more scary and gross.
Right?
Yeah. Up until that point, I don't think I've seen an ending as dark as Pet Sematary. I mean, like, it was just unhappy.
Say shit, Gage. Shit. Say fuck, Gage. Fuck. Get run over by a truck, Gage. Top Stephen King movies. Go!
At the number 6 spot, I have 1991. Sometimes They Come Back.
Hey. At 6, though?
Yeah. Based on the short story of the same name, which was originally published in March 1974 in the issue of Cavalier and later re-released as part of King's Night Shift collection. Sibling relationships in King movies, majority of the time, are close. Like, I really like that. Usually, like, the little sibling always looks up to the older one, like
Right.
Bill and Georgie, Denny and Gordy, and their
I
relationship
think
to
he's
each-
talking Georgie from It.
Yeah, Georgie, and then Stand By Me. Danny and Gordy, John Cusack, and
Oh, yeah. It should have been you.
and the relationship to each other it's a really good one, and sometimes they come back. It's no different. Like Wayne with the little screen time he had.
I
looked
don't
like
remember that movie that bad, except that I loved that movie, and it's on my deal.
Yeah. Like in the movie, he only gets stabbed once, but in the short story, he gets stabbed twice.
Fuck.
The second one goes to his groin.
Oh.
Yeah, but at least Wayne, he was the ideal big brother. Wasn't a greaser punk. Watched out for his little bro Jim and got killed for it. And that's why I like this movie. It was comforting to see Wayne come back and help his little brother out. That's what I like most about this movie. And that balance of terror from the demon greaser punks. The crew did a really good job with making those guys scary. But this one was really good. But the short story is a lot different though.
Oh, is
I
it?
mean,
I've never read the source material.
The Jim actually like has to summon them back, and he does so by cutting his fingers and like offering it to like.
Like cutting his fingers off?
Yeah, he cuts one finger from his right hand, cuts one from his left hand.
Okay, well, Ono did this in high school while I was not fucking gross, so you'll see which is weirder, I guess. I guess what my number 6?
Yes.
The Stand.
Yeah, that one was good. Did you? Yeah, the book is there's a.
Yeah, I've never fully read the book, but just the movie itself was pretty dope. It was like one of those mini series things that came off the TV.
Sure. Yeah, I remember when it premiered. Yeah, it was very nice. Number 5.
It's real nice. Oh, did you watch it with your mom? Them
Yeah.
girl.
Number 5, I have Shawshank Redemption. Now, this one's a little bit high up on the list, and it's a fantastic movie. But the rest of the movies I have on this top 6 don't come
Are
close.
better?
Yeah, but they're also totally different types of
What?
movies. The first time I saw this one, it was showing on TNT, and it was the bomb. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman's chemistry on screen was amazing. You want only good things to happen for those two. So when we find out that Andy Dufresne escapes and Red's meeting up with him in the end, it's like happiest of all endings. And one of the bits of trivia that TNT showed at the end of the movie was that it was nominated for 7 Academy Awards and didn't win a single one.
That's
But
fucked.
it currently holds,
That's Frank Darabont, though.
the number 1 spot on IMDb's top 50.
It does, yeah. It does. At a bunch of those lists, at the top 200 of all time, it's on that. Yeah.
Man, it's a really good movie.
I feel like, really? You saw it on the TV thing where in parts, but not
Yeah.
full parcel?
No.
You're only, 3 years younger than me?
Yeah. I didn't see it advertised. I mean, fucking, I wasn't going to movies.
I didn't see it advertised either, but I rented it like a real American. America. Fuck. Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5. I got Misery.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Well, it's on my list. I
Oh,
loved it. Like, it was fucking super.
That one was
Like-
that's a little bit high for me. Or a
Really?
little bit low.
Really?
That's a little bit low for me.
Oh, yeah, you would have done. Okay, no. But I got other stuff that, occupies us all. But fucking. I feel that's the pinnacle of crazy ass fucking. Like nowadays they're called stalkers, but in the days it was called like fucking.
Super fans.
Yeah, like, and then you end up with out your ankles and,
Yeah.
eating clit of a fat, ugly chick.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever eaten the clit of a fat, ugly chick?
No. At number 4, I have
Oh,
Maximum
don't skip over me.
Overdrive. King's directorial
Don't
debut
skip.
and only directed movie to date.
I didn't know that about that.
Yeah. Written for the screen
But
by him,
also did.
based on his short story Trucks. It stars the awesome.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, Emilio
Trucks.
Estevez,
Oh, dope.
Pat Hingle, and mega babe Laura Harrington.
What else was Laura Harrington in?
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
As who?
One of the sisters. I think the cook, the one that cooks food.
Doesn't sound super hot.
It's one of those movies that I saw in Monster Vision. Remember Billy Bob?
Yeah.
He pointed
Like
out
late
that
night.
the entire soundtrack consisted of AC/DC
AC/DC.
songs. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because of truckers, right? On the
Yeah.
CB radio.
Yeah, Highway to Hell, whatever. One of the more memorable scenes for me was when the soda can kept shooting out, cans.
Cans and fuck the little kids up.
And the coach, but the coach got it the worst because he got one in the balls and one right to the face. One kid gets smashed by one of those steamrollers. Poor guy. But
I don't remember that, but that sounds dope.
This was just an overall fun movie about surviving the machine takeover at a gas station, no less.
Based on aliens.
Yeah, but it just so happens the owners of the gas station have their own artillery, which made it even better.
The one guy gets gasoline to his eyes. Oof.
All right.
I can't imagine that, but yeah.
Those
Okay,
are-
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. My number 4, Stand By Me. Yeah. Does it not make your list at all?
It didn't make my list, no.
What?
I think an
I
honorable
feel like
mention.
it's every Stephen King movie was coming of age, but you just add like
Yeah.
the extra crazy to it. No?
Sure. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I mean, these movies are just so much better that I have on my list that I enjoy. Like, it's like it.
Well, maybe, yeah. I feel I enjoy a lot of the other movies because some of it is grounded in the fact of, coming of age or, you and me just being regular people and then this shit happened to us. But,
Right.
okay, yeah. Number 4, Stand By Me.
All right. Number 3, I have The Mist. This was the second Stephen King movie that was adapted that I saw in theaters. The first one being 1408, which was released earlier that same year, 2007.
I like that one, sort of.
Yeah, that one was pretty dark too, but it was kind of like a slow burn. This was a lot more fun to watch because it's basically Maximum Overdrive, but with monsters and a grocery store. There was also more people involved, a wide range of characters, so we get more conflict within the group.
Yeah, the missile was pretty dope.
Yeah, and some religious commentary. Thomas Jane is a cool dude, and I'd follow him anywhere. The ending, though, it wasn't bad, but it was like a turn off. It was definitely dark.
It was a turn off, yeah.
It just didn't sit well with me. First, well, the woman who ran off in the beginning to look for her daughter is alive.
She's like on the back of those trucks,
yeah, and the
looking
military
all smug,
finally came in to help. Yeah, but Thomas Jane just blew away his entire crew.
and his son.
Yeah, and he didn't leave a bullet for himself. So it's kind of like a happy downer kind of ending. I don't know if this ever happened to you.
It's
but,
ironic, but
you know,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is. That's the word, right? You ever ate like a slice of pizza
Okay.
and
Every
like
time.
those dessert pizzas, and it turned out to be like a meat lovers? So it's like you anticipate happiness only to be disgusted immediately. Meat
By
lover-
something that's good,
Yeah.
right? Disgusted by something that's good.
Yeah. Well, meat lovers is dope, but I
Right.
wanted something sweet. That's how I felt at the end of The Mist.
Yeah. I feel he's inarticulate about it, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Meat lovers when you want sweet pizza. Yeah. Well, okay, we were just debating, but anyway, my number 3, The Shawshank Redemption. Okay, moving along.
All right, at number 2, I have Misery. Kathy Bates is the face of Superfan Psycho. Beneath all that friendly homebody representation is a deeply disturbed person.
You didn't feel that was a little high for?
No, Bates' performance was all
True.
sinister,
I'm with
psychotic,
you on that.
and all horrific at the same time. It was nothing
I
shy
ju-
of amazing.
True. I feel that's high. Right.
And so no wonder she took home the Oscar that year.
She did. Bangarang.
Very deservedly so.
Was that for Best Actress or Best Supporting? Because I feel that's a Best Actress stance.
Yeah, it was Best Actress.
Actress. What is that? 90? 90?
90.
Because I remember the Oscars, I think.
Well, it was the same year. Julia Roberts was nominated for
Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think that's 90. Yeah.
yeah. Throughout the movie, we're just cheering on for James Caan to somehow find a way to escape. And
I'm like,
just,
fuck him, though. I want her to win because she knows that the superhero did not get out of the cock-a-doodle car.
Yeah, it's really devastating for him when his plans go south. And there's a few of them, and he pays for it. Remember the sledgehammer? To
Yes.
the face?
Oh, I can't forget that, bro. My childhood is marked from before that to after
Right. All right.
when I knew that could happen. So, okay, you're number 2.
You're number 2.
No, I mean, you just did your number 2, so. My number 2, It. It's great. Pennywise, fucking Tim Curry. Yep.
All right, for honorable mentions of The Green Mile. Great performance by
Go!
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, I tried to take it back. John Coffey.
Yeah, I really like Doe Hutchison in this one too, and Sam Rockwell.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell was cool as the moon pie fucking crazy guy.
Second honorable mention goes to Children of the Corn. Very dark opening, the one where the kid gets killed in the beginning. And we all see blood splatter on the suitcase. They actually, in the opening of the short story, the kid gets run over by a car.
Feels like Gage from Pet Cemetery.
And of course, number 3 goes to Langoliers. This story
Yeah.
sci-fi than horror.
It didn't make my list, but yeah, that was a good one. I feel that it should get remade into a full-blown deal because the story was interesting, right?
Right.
About those things that just eat up time.
Yeah, they are the timekeepers of eternity, eating what's left up of the past.
Damn.
Yeah. What's your honorable mentions?
I have The Mist. Right?
The Mist? Yeah. It's a TV show now. Right?
Yeah. What do you think about that, though?
I didn't see it yet, but
Well, I mean, you've seen the previews, so.
I didn't see the previews either. So
Where the fuck you getting your news from?
yeah, I just saw the headline. That's it.
Oh, this guy.
Number 2.
Maximum Overdrive.
Oh.
After we've been talking, I feel it should be higher in the list because a lot of the things that's going on. But yeah, it made my honorables for the Stephen King adaptation to films.
Sure.
And at 3, sometimes they come back because that's some dope shit.
It is. It's a really good one.
And it's that guy who's from Wedding Singer, like, you know, do you really want to hurt me?
Yeah. All right, number ones.
Yep. What you got?
I have Silver Bullet.
Really? Even now? Have you rewatched it? Because I just rewatched it.
And it's not good. It's not timeless.
It's cheesy, but it needs a remake. It,
Oh,
you
I
know,
think
they got the voiceover and that ugly girl, and then the wheelchair brother, and then that priest with the patch. Like, you know, good elements, but not executed to be like a number one of shit, bro.
Damn.
That's just my feeling.
All right. Well, I mean,
You don't want to defend or
no, because then none of your argument doesn't hold up. It just
oh, so basically, no, you won't defend because my shit is bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
agree with
fuck you. I believe that there was, you know, there's elements in there that's
What is your number one?
mitigating. Well, now I'm kind of ashamed to say, but I'm also ashamed for us that we have not brought this up, and I'm ashamed for you, The Shining. Have you seen The Shining?
Yeah.
Have you read the book, The Shining?
No.
Okay. Well, still, just from the film, like, you don't feel it deserves a spot?
No.
What?
I saw this later in life. Yeah. So.
I
it's
did
like-
too. I saw it when I was 14, but it's
Yeah.
been out since, like, I was born at 80, bro.
I probably gotta watch it again.
I feel we should, and maybe do a track, you know, and if you don't cry, well, you won't because it's too safe, but you got to imagine it when you're alone and just like, oh, open to murder and shit. But anyways.
All right. Well, that is it for this Seno 6
Oh, it's,
Stephen King movies. Hope you liked it. Thank you. All right. What a good. Well, that's it for our first episode of season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah, we got by through that one quick.
Yep. We're now changing our name to the Stephen King Show.
The Stephen King Show. Please
Body
check
by
us out.
Stephen.
So yeah, hope you like the show. Please check us out on iTunes. We an Apple Podcast. Subscribe to the show if you haven't already.
YouTube.
Search Cinephiles and Cenobites. And please rate and review the show if you have time. We'd be very grateful for that.
Yep.
And check us out on Twitter at cynical_mass. That's CINECAL_MASS. We're also on Tumblr, cinephiles-cenobites.tumblr.com. Oh, and please visit the website.
Nekomedia.com.
Yes, that's NEKKO media.com.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you want to plug?
Not really.
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King.
The Raiders.
Yes. Please.
Oakland Raiders. Countdown's begun.
I'm gonna get that ring. We will see.
Yep.
But
yes.
Yes. Please check back next week. We're on a weekly now. We have a weekly schedule every Monday.
Every Monday.
Almost.
I mean, we're doing a Tuesday every now and then, right? Because of some anniversaries.
We'll see.
Oh yeah. Okay. just keep a lookout. We're dropping weekly.
Oh, and be sure to stick around for a little bit more. We got surprises at the end of the show now.
Yep, all season long.
Yes.
This has been Cinephiles and Cenobites, a Neko Media podcast broadcasting from the Blood Cave and part of the Potter Family Network. I'm Monica Bustyfoot. For myself, Mox, and Ono, be sure to keep the lights on and check under that bed because there's only one universal truth. No lives matter. That means you.
We have candy. So I waited by the phone, but the phone never rang. Sang so loud so I wouldn't hear the bang. And the bang never came and I never got the call. Fuck it, thank you, I love you all. Some are gonna say that we doomed to repeat. Past mistakes, great, but that's not me. Even if it was, I would always disagree. In the end, I get the better of me.
I've got a
Gun in my hand, but the gun won't cock. Fingers on the trigger, but the trigger seems locked. And I can't stop staring at the tick-tock clock. Even if I could, I would never give up. With the vest on my chest, a bullet in my lung. Can't believe I'm dying with my song unsung. If and when I die, won't you bury me alone? Cause I'll never get to heaven if I'm singing this song.
This is a Neko Media podcast.